Hello everybody, welcome into my new YouTube channel, A Saw Dude. This channel is all about my journey into woodworking. I am a beginner in every sense of the word. I've done a little bit of carpentry work on my house, restoration type stuff, but actually when it comes to building things and creating things, I am very new. I have a limited amount of tools here and a very limited budget. About the only thing I do have is some space. But we're working with a miter saw. I just recently got a table saw. I got a little nail gun, a couple clamps, and some glue. I just built this workbench myself out of some scrap wood that I had laying around. But the focus of today's video is this planner. Now I found this on YouTube from Sweet Love Creations. You should definitely check him out if you want the plans for this, as that's where I found them and that's what I followed. And this is basically a video of me following someone else's plans. As a beginner, what does this look like when you first try to do it? Or in this case, this will be my third one actually that I'm going to build for this video today. What does this actually look like when you do it? How hard is it? These people, not to speak of anyone in particular, but a lot of people have very high budget equipment and shops, and I certainly do not. So are these things replicatable with the bare budget, type of stuff like a lot of them claim? Well, I'm certainly trying to find out. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna run you through how I build one of these. I'll throw out some dimensions, what I'm doing, what I'm cutting, stuff like that. But I do go a little bit further, so to speak, as in I will be sanding down all the faces of these boards, and then I'm also gonna burn a finish on it at the end. I'm gonna show you how I do all of that as well. So thanks for checking out my channel. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. Here's a quick overview of my shop. This is a shared space with my auto detailing business. It's very simple. I have a miter saw, table saw, homemade bench, clamps, glue, nails, and a pile of wood. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is come over to the miter saw and we're going to square up the end of our board. If there's one thing I've seen on all the Cedar Picket builds that I've watched, it's that you want to square up the end of your board. So then I'm going to try to find the square side of my board. As you see here, I flip it around and I'm going to cut 14 11-inch pieces. These are going to end up being the sides of your planner. I wish I had a convenient way to put a stop block on the saw, but I do not, so you're going to see me have to measure each individual piece. And you're going to be able to get 6 boards out of each plank here. So we're going to cut 6 off of 2 planks. You're going to use 3 planks in total. Have a little bit of waste there, but it's not too bad. Alright, so we have 12 boards cut. We're going to go ahead and take 2 more 11-inch boards off of this last plank. Now that we got those done, we're going to cut 2 boards at 10 3/8 of an inch. The reason you cut them at 3/8 of an inch is because you're going to place them on top of the bottom board that we're cutting now to 5.5 inches. And then that'll make sure that you're flush with the sides on top of your board. So then we cut out 4 5.5-inch pieces, and we'll be using those for our bottom pieces of the planner. The next thing that I like to do is sand down the faces of all these boards. I hit the 4 exposed edges. I kind of like 45 them off so they're nice and smooth, and then I like to make the faces smooth. Get rid of that rough cut, try to get rid of the saw marks if I can. I'm using 150 grit sandpaper and the cheapest sander I think that money will buy. Honestly, the sander works pretty well. It's the cheap sandpaper that lets me down, and then the clamping system on the sander really is a weak point of it. It just doesn't hold the paper very well, and you're going to see multiple times in this video where my paper rips or tears, and the piece of paper itself honestly has a lot of life left in it. but there's so little under that clamp, and it just makes it so prone to tearing whenever you're sanding edges of a board like this. But I think it's overall worth my time. This definitely takes a good bit. This adds a good 15 minutes to the project that I wouldn't have otherwise, but I think it really helps to clean the boards up and make it look a little more professional and put together. So I guess we'll see if it's worth my time overall, but personally I like the look of it and I think it presents a more professional feel. While we watch me sand away here, let's talk about cost, because that's something that everybody's interested about, whether you're doing this for yourself or you're doing them to sell, as I'm hoping to do. So I got each planter for $2.98 at my local Menards. If you want to get real technical about it, they offer an 11% rebate on everything you buy, so I'm going to get 11% back on each board. We are not going to count that right now, and we'll just go with simple math. We'll call it $3. So I have $9 in wood. I use 3 sheets of sandpaper. So you have the pack of sandpaper, and then you can break that down per sheet. We'll call it 75 cents. I buy the cheapest paper you can get. And then I have the ever so popular and recommended, the general consensus best glue for planter building on the YouTube, the Tight Bond Ultimate 3. I have no complaints, seems to work great. I then use very cheap brad nails. I don't even know the name of them. They're 1 inch. I think I got a box of 3,000 for like $6 or $7. I probably put 8 million nails in this thing, as you can see, and if you count, please leave a comment how many nails I use. I think that'd be a fun little game. But all in all, I would say at most I'm in this, $11 or $12. So finally we can start assembly. Now I am going to start by making my end caps. I'll lay one board out, put the bottom in there, and then as you can see I use another piece of fence to help stabilize and space the top, because right now this is in a very fragile state until you get this third side put in here. Once you slide this third side piece in here and you get that glued and nailed, then your end pieces are very rigid and you don't have to worry about them folding in. But the 2 middle pieces are going to still be in that U shape, and you have to be very careful. If you put any weight on the end of those boards, those things will fold right in and rip the nails right out. So you really need the extra side boards to make the whole planter rigid until you get it together. So I'm going to go ahead and put together 2 duplicate end caps here. This is where we use that 10 3/8 board. That's why we needed 2 of them, because you got 1 on each end. So you glue it, nail it, wipe all your excess glue off. The cleanup's a lot easier when it's wet as compared to when it's dry. We'll get our end caps all nailed together here. Set them aside after a good 76 nails. So this is what I was talking about. I like to use an extra board as that spacer. Makes this a lot easier to hold things together. You hold it tight when you flip it over. You can just keep going. So we'll make 2 identical sides here. You see me using another side piece here. I ran out of the floor pieces because I need them in the base. Make sure we get those in there. Now that we got our sides together, you see me take another piece and I'm putting it on the ends of those, because this weight of me putting the boards on top of this, plus me moving things around, leaning on it accidentally, can fold in those ends. I've had it happen. You don't want to do it. So now I'm going to flip up, glue underneath each board, lay it back down, and just run 4 nails in it to hold it in place while I get the whole side loosely put together. Now I'll go back through and put about 26 dozen nails in the side here. I figure nails are cheap, and I would rather do a couple more and hope that this thing holds together longer than cheap out over a few nails and it come apart on somebody prematurely. So again, you'll see me support even this back side here with another piece of wood while I get these adjusted, screwed down, hit the 4 corners, and then another 376 screws in the side. And that's that. We'll take that piece out of the top there, and it's all built. Okay, so now that we have it together, we're going to go ahead and burn it. Pro tip, you do not want to burn this as soon as you're done with it. You want to let this glue dry for at least a day, maybe even 2 before you burn it. If you try to do this right when you're done, what's going to happen is that glue is still wet. It's going to want to melt out the sides. It might even catch fire, but it's going to affect the way this thing looks in the end, and you do not want to do that. So you have to be patient. As far as burning it goes, this is something that I've never really looked into. I just kind of started doing it. I burnt my fence in my yard to seal it. I burnt a couple interior doors for my house for different projects. And there's really not a whole lot to it. You just burn the wood. Try not to actually set it on fire. It's a hard thing to do the right amount of randomness, but also covering it evenly and trying not to get too many circles, and just trying to make it look like it was actually burnt it's a real struggle, honestly. I really don't think there's a ton of a right or wrong way to do it, and I could be very incorrect about that. Feel free to comment down below any advice you have. On this planner, I actually implemented an idea my fiance gave me, and I burnt the first 4 or 5 inches inside of the planner. So when you're looking at it from the top down and you see that back edge, it's actually burnt too. Once it's filled with soil, you don't see the raw inside of it. Alright, so here it is. All finished, burnt, ready to go, and I think it turned out great. I'm really happy with this design. Some things I like about it. One, you cut everything square. There's no ripping, nothing. It's all easy chop cuts on a miter saw. You cut almost everything to the same length, and it goes together really nice and easy. Glue it, nail it. Like I said, I like to sand it all down as you've seen and burn it, and this is the end result that I come up with, and we're going to see how it works out for me. Hopefully this helps you want to try it yourself, and I wish you luck. See you next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Take care.